Hello YouTube, this is Keith Kevin Ken. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Time again for another knife of the day. This comes from Spyderco and knifejoy.com. It's the new Spyderco Smock with CPM 20CV steel and a wonderful polished G10. I don't have the original Smock. I sold it to one of you guys in one of the trimmings. But the original Smock was one of the most anticipated knives from Spyderco. In fact, that's one reason Spyderco changed the way that they announce new products. Before, they used to just publish one annual catalog with all their new stuff, and then everyone would be waiting for it. Knife distributors would put, ways that you can set aside the knife and wait. And I think the Smock took like 2.5 years from announcement to actually market. And when it came out last year, it came out with S30V steel and a carbon fiber on top of G10 scales. Now, if you're not that familiar with the Smock, the Spyderco Smock, Kevin Smock is a real popular knife maker because he has a lot of social media on Instagram, etc. And so a lot of people knew of his custom knives. And this takes after one of his most popular custom knives. And so everyone got excited that Spyderco, that he was going to work with Spyderco. He was very excited too. He promoted it heavily. So we were all waiting for the Smock, and it finally came out. And now KnifeJoy has decided to do a limited exclusive. Boy, this market has really exploded. I started collecting Spydercos, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And you didn't hear that much about these distributors doing exclusives. There were one here, two there. There were some that were well known for it, but now everyone is doing it. And I like it because you get all these different variations of knives. So Spyderco actually released more Smocks. The original Smock is still available on Blade HQ, Knife Center, and elsewhere. But this one, I really get a kick out of. First, I missed my Smock, but I didn't miss it enough to rebuy it. I've been rebuying a lot of the knives that I have sold to you guys. But I was happy to hear that KnifeJoy was coming out with this one. I love the fact that we went from Crucible's S30V steel to this wonderful CPM 20CV steel. This steel really keeps an edge. It's super tough. It's a nice steel. Now, of course, there's two things with the Smock that really makes it special. One is this Wharncliffe blade. It's a real nice blade, hollow ground blade. And of course, now with the updated steel, has a jimping, nice grippy jimping on top, and it has this forward choil. Now, I always prefer that the regular Spyderco choils that are half the handle and half the blade steel or something like that, because you get a big choil and you don't take a lot of the blade steel away. But in this case, it's all blade steel, but still it gives you a chance to really do some closer work with the blade. 3.4-inch blade. Now remember, when I talk about the blade, we're measuring from the tip of the blade to the beginning of the scales. So that's 3.4 inches. But you take away that big forward choil right there, you take that out of it, and then it becomes a 2.9-inch edge. The cutting edge is 2.9 inches. The entire length of this knife is 7.9 inches. It's a nice size. It really is. Now, I said there are two things. That was me. I said there were two things about this, and I said it was the blade. It's really three things. Okay, so there is that Wharncliffe blade. The other thing, which is really the biggest thing, is this right here. This is, believe it or not, a compression lock. You know, Spyderco's compression lock that's on the Para 2. Here's a Para 2. And you see that compression lock right there with the lock bar? We pull, right, to release it. We pull the lock bar away to release the blade. Well, here, the difference is you don't do that. My hands are so slippery. I'm sorry. You don't do that. It's a push button. So it's kind of like reverse inside. You push it. You see the button? And so instead of pulling that bar away on the compression lock, we push it away with this button and it falls. So it is a compression lock. It's just that we have this button instead. Okay? I know my finger is so slippery, and that's why I didn't flip this open. The last thing is there are really three ways to open up this knife. Now they have this real small profile flipper. For me, you know, and it works very well. It's really on the top. It flips out real nice. I would have liked just a little bit of jimping because I do, you know, when my fingers are slippery, see, it slides off a little. But it does flip nice. The other way is the traditional way. You see right there, they made room for that Spidey hole. So you can still, even though it's a smaller Spidey hole, you can still open it up that way. You don't have to flip it. Obviously, if you're going to make a flipper, it's for the flipper, right? To flip it out there. But you can just traditionally do that. I love the small flipper tab because when this is in your pocket, it doesn't get in the way at all. Right? Doesn't get in the way, you know, when you're holding the knife or anything, because they cut off right there the edge of the handle, and that flipper tab pretty much takes that, so it almost squares off the top. It's a real nice way. The other way is release the lock. Whoops, what did I just do? I've been doing it all day. Okay, hold on. Huh. Okay. That didn't happen. I've been doing it all day. I don't know. For some reason, I've been having problems. Well, some people actually have the lock pressed and can flip it open. As you can see, today is not my flipping day. Okay. So, for me, an old fogey at 60, I usually just open it up the traditional way. But that flipper really does work. It works very well. And some folks actually release the blade by pushing in the button and then flipping it up as well. Let's talk about this handle. I don't know how many knife reviews you've seen, but when Spyderco has polished G10, I go crazy. They do it so well. It's smooth. It's not grippy. It's smooth, but it's luxurious. It's classy. Usually you don't think G10 is super classy, but that smooth G10 from Spyderco is something else. Of course, it had holes that go all the way through and out the back side, so you can see the blade going in. That's a design element, but also saves some weight. Full stainless steel liners. Smooth G10. I wish they would have done a better clip. This is the regular clip. The regular clip, um, the clip is right hand or left hand tip up only. Right hand or left hand tip up only because of the compression lock on the top. And then it has a big lanyard hole, a sizable lanyard hole. I'm assuming there's a lot of super lanyard people. I'm not a huge lanyard fan, and you'll read people who would love to see the lanyard hole go on some knives, and others, obviously, Spyderco makes sure they have a lanyard hole on everything. In this case, it doesn't matter. I prefer deep carry pocket clips. In this case, that can't happen because of the lanyard hole, but not a deal breaker for me. I really like it. Do not subtract from this because of my slippery hands on flipping. Do not distract from this because me trying to push the button and opening. It all works with younger, nimbler, non-arthritic hands. Okay? This is a great knife, really nice and functional, smooth right out of the box. And I'm really happy. It's limited, but it is available. Well, actually, I was just on KnifeJoy. I didn't see it. I don't know if it's available on KnifeJoy since it's an exclusive. Go check it out. See if it's still available. But I'm real happy that they came back with another Smock with CPM 20CV steel and the polished G10. I can tell you that the original Smock is still available. Pretty much anywhere you buy knives. And that's a real nice knife as well. S30V steel with the carbon fiber on top of G10. There you have it. You can see it compared to the other two knives with compression locks, traditional compression locks, the Paramilitary 2 and the Para 3. There you have it. Hope you enjoy this video. I have a bunch more knives to show you. I really do. I have 3 more Spydercos to show you and a bunch of other knives that aren't Spydercos. So we're going to continue this about every other day. You should expect a video. Hope all of you guys are doing well. Take good care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as much as you can, stay happy. I know it's tough, but it makes the day go by really nicely. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications. You have a perfect day. Keep those pockets full. Goodbye.